Welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Shorts. Today's topic is this swirly mash you see in this large pot in front of you. These are carrots. The scientific name of carrots is Daucus Carrota. And yes, I always roll the R's in that part. I just can't help it. It sounds elegante. Just imagine a little tiny mandolin playing some kind of strum in the background there. Well, anyway, carrots are one of those foods that industrial versions, the kind you buy at the store, are just bland and bleh. They don't taste like much of anything. They don't even taste much like carrot. But when you grow them at home, it's a whole different ballpark. Now, carrots grow in pretty much every USDA range as a quote-unquote annual. They're actually a biennial in that in the second year they'll put up inflorescence, or if under stress they'll put up inflorescence in the first year, flowers, and they will try to go to seed. Now, the specimens here were planted last fall. They're all Danvers red cord, a standard variety. But when you grow it yourself, like this in pots, they do anything but act standard. Now, below, we have a variety of Carrotas. We're going to zoom in. Now, up there in the corner, and I'm going to pan it, it's going to be at the bottom of your screen. Those are yellow carrots. They're called Amarillo. Zoom in. Amarillo! And there might be a white carrot or two in there with them. I zoom out a little bit, and you see these are the Danvers orange cord, and then this big mamma jamma at the bottom of the screen, the white one, that's a variety called Luna. Luna White. When I planted carrots last year, I picked names that sounded like space stuff. So Luna White, Amarillo was a crapshoot. Black Nebula, which unfortunately is my favorite, the tastiest of the bunch. I don't have any because I ate them all. But that's aside from the point. Now, carrots are actually really good for you, but not necessarily the store-bought ones. Because again, the store-bought ones have been slapped around and moved and other stuff. Now, what's interesting about carrots is that carrots tend to rank low on the glycemic index, which is a measure of how quickly foods raise blood sugar after a meal, which makes them a better food choice if you've got diabetes. Now, what's interesting is that what gives the traditional carrot its orange color is beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is, once digested by your body, is turned into vitamin A, which is of course good for you. But when you start getting carrots in other colors, you start getting other carotenes. And yes, there is actually a range of colorants that turn into different nutrients in the body. Which is why I always say, friends don't let friends just eat one color of carrot. Plus, that's garden racism, and we don't have that here. Now, what's really neat is that per 100 grams of raw carrots, there are 41 calories, it's 88% water by volume, there's 0.9 grams of protein, 9.6 grams of carbs, 4.7 grams of sugar, 2.8 grams of fiber, and 0.2 grams of fat. Not bad. Historically, carrots have been very significant. The most recent historical point of note is during World War II. I'm sure some of you have heard the story, but please allow me a moment to recant that, or retell the story. You see, during World War II, during the Battle of the Blitz, Britain started using radar to spot German bomber formations coming across the channel in advance. But in order to hide the fact that they were using radar, they created this story that British pilots' eyesight was so good at night because they ate a diet that was heavy on carrots. Now, surely the beta-carotene and the vitamin A didn't hurt anything, and it may have helped their vigor and their capability to withstand the forces of flying around in an aircraft for hours on end sometimes. But it also fooled the Germans, who were sure that carrots were the cause. So carrots were involved in one of the greatest wartime deceptions in history, which is a good thing. Now for you, I do recommend growing carrots. They're not hard to grow. You throw the seed on the ground, you keep it moist until they come up, You try to keep it in a row, but let's face it, you're not going to. And yes, they can grow on top of each other. Are you going to get long, tapering carrots like you buy at the store? Nah, probably not. Those are overrated anyway. You don't need them. As you can see, my carrots are, well, except for that overachieving white Luda there. That thing is like crazy. That is the closest to a store-bought carrot that I've had come out of the garden in 10 years. Usually they're going to be fat and short. Like this one here. Zoom in. Look. Oh, Lord. Look at that. Lord, look at that carrot. Thick! It's coming this way. Change the camera. Anyway, I do recommend you grow carrots. If anything, the foliage provides a food source for caterpillars and things, even though I'm about to pluck my crop and call it a summer. There is one last fact I want to share with you about carrots. Two facts. First and foremost, Queen Anne's lace is also Carrota. Yes, that's right. It's actually Daucus Carrota. It is the same species. Queen Anne's lace is nothing more than a carrot that has escaped cultivation or was never in cultivation in the first place. They are not poisonous, but they have several poisonous lookalikes in the wild, so you have to be careful about picking carrot-like things in the wild. My second fact for you. The foliage of carrots is fully edible. In fact, I have had it in salads before, and I have to say, it's peppery. It's intensely carrot flavored, more so than the tuber, the root, the taproot. That's what that actually is. More so than the taproot. It's intensely carrot with a peppery overtone. Some species, especially the black nebula types, which are a carrot that is so intensely purple that it's black. It looks black. It stains your cutting board purplish black. It's great. The foliage from that almost burns a little. Now, as a fan of hot peppers, I find this delightful. But for you folks, carrot greens in your salad, think about it. That's all I have for you on carrots. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit up the blog. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up. And with that said, keep them growing, folks.